Welcome back, guys, to what will be game number 3 between SK Telecom and the KT Bullets, a battle for the final Korean spot at the Season 3 World Championships. There's SK Telecom. They won last game. It was a bit long, a bit extended, a bit sloppy at times, but they tied up the series. Can they get a lead now?
Well, they turned it around, and the KT Bullets kind of went back. They tried out that Gragas strat that we saw win 2 games in the final last week, but they couldn't pull it out. I think SK Telecom has their number a bit with that strategy right now.
Yeah.
We saw them start to ban Gragas after going down 0-2 just a week ago, but now the SK Telecom isn't banning Gragas at all. Instead, they're letting the KT Bullets have it, and they're winning anyway.
Yeah. And that's got to be a bit nerve-wracking for KT as well. I mean, Ryu on Gragas is certainly one of the big strengths they've relied on a lot lately. And so to not have that, or at least have that put in doubt, may shake them a little bit.
Hey, look, Ryu's awake now.
Yeah. It doesn't look that shaken, I guess. Maybe it's stirred, but not very shaken.
Well, so, James Bond would like him then.
That's right. He is the James Bond of Korea, really. I mean. And here we go, guys. Picks and bans, KT Bullets, SK Telecom. Game number 3, Ari and Zed, the first 2 bans. And there's the Vayne ban.
And Corky coming out as well, so we're in a world with a lot of AD carry bans right now. No Zed for Ryu. We can expect that as a red side ban tonight. And Vi taken out also. The KT Bullets not going to first pick that. Fizz goes down 2.
Interesting.
So Shen up, and that'll be taken.
Yep. Insec very, very comfortable on Shen right now. So no big shock there. And what will the first 2 picks for SK Telecom be? They have a chance to get. Yeah, Caitlyn, Zyra. Yep, there you go. I was going to say that.
Yeah.
Stole it from me.
Piglet and Mondu have really won lane hard in the early game and got scoring off of both games so far tonight. And that set them up pretty nicely in that last game, too. So the Thresh, we've seen it banned against Mafa a couple games so far, but they decide that some other bans a little bit more necessary this time around, and Thresh will slip through and probably be picked up. Kakao maybe opting for Elise instead of Lee Sin, even though Lee Sin is available. Bengi not much of a Lee player, actually.
True, yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me. They may try and take that Elise away because Impact was able to do a lot of work with that champion last game. Maybe the Jarvan pickup for SK Telecom.
Score gets his Ezreal. And will we see that Lee Sin pickup? No. Jarvan would make a bit more sense, yeah. And there's Jack. Okay. Trinity Infinity.
Jack's no surprise right there. Impact has been diversifying his champion pool, diversifying his playstyle away from a lot of these tanks and onto some more carries. And this fits with that pattern that we've seen from him so far this season. And the Ezreal, I said that I would be happy if we saw a score on that champion. He did so well in the first game of the finals, and that was before patch 310 came out, 310A, that is. So he's only gotten stronger, and it is his favorite champion. He said that in an interview that he did pretty recently.
Yep. And the final 2 picks coming in for the KT Bullets. What's it going to be? Need a support in a mid laner, presumably, although there's always that off chance that Ryu could be playing Ezreal, but I've got a feeling it's going to be
the KT Bullets do love double AD compositions. They use them consistently throughout Champion Summer, but we've seen them fall off a little bit. It's just not as valuable in the late game, and Ezreal able to carry pretty hard these days with that Trinity Force and the Last Whisper build that he's been liking.
Yeah. So what's it going to be? A lot of deliberation on the KT side. The time ticking down, just 6 seconds remaining. And there's Gragas for Ryu. They're going to go with it again. And the Thresh, changing to Karthus at the last moment.
I like this much better.
All right.
He's going to be able to apply a lot of pressure globally with the Shen, as well as the Karthus ultimates, able to reverse those ganks. And if we remember how SK Telecom really took that big edge in the last game, it was because they were roaming very heavily and able to pick up those picks. Now, if you have Requiem and a Shen coming in, it makes it a lot harder because you instantly have a lot of reverse damage coming down if you're going to try and create some counterplay with it.
And I was wondering if we were going to see a mid-cannon, but there's an Orianna. It would make a little bit more sense.
Yeah, they can use Orianna here for her utility and allow Impact to really carry up top with that Jax pickup. So they've got a solid team composition. They will be looking to push quite quickly as well here. Again, that Caitlyn Zyra, great, absolutely great in the 2v1 lane. Really easy to bully out this Shen pickup.
Really solid, comfortable-looking teams for both, teams for both teams, basically.
Yeah, composition's pretty standard for both of these sides. The only real wild card here is Jax on Impact, or Impact on Jax. That's not something that we've seen a lot before, and I feel like this game's going to tell us a lot about Impact and his versatility as a player.
That's a really good point, yeah. Well, there's Faker. And Ryu, a battle of the mid laners. Kind of the marquee matchup as far as fans are concerned in SK Telecom versus KT right now. So much talent on both teams, but mid laners making those flashy plays.
And the KT fans out in force with their signs tonight.
Oh yeah, as always.
So I like this adaptation from the KT Bullets. I'm glad we're not seeing that Gragas again. But considering SK Telecom isn't running as much of a pick comp this time, they're going to have to be active with Requiem, active with Stand United to make the picks themselves, shut down Impact early. That should be Cacao*s mission with the help of Ryu and Insect, and try and stop that fast push coming in as well.
Well, Bengi's going to really have to have his counter jungling be really, really good this game. And here we go, guys. It begins. The game is loaded up. SKT versus KT. Game 3. Who takes the lead? Let's find out. Again, set 3, KT Bullets versus SK Telecom T1 in that search for the final World Championship spot from Korea. And we are all tied up, 1-1.
So pretty standard compositions. I mean, we're not seeing anything that's a dedicated fast push here. We're not seeing anything that's really a dedicated pick. We've got some pretty useful compositions for all situations. Split pushing with Jax, split pushing with Shen. A lot of 5v5 potential. Good siege for both sides. And so it's all going to come down to how this game, how these teams play it out, and whether who really starts picking up those objectives first.
And so far, no real deep incursions. Well, actually, no. Now they're starting to move across, yeah. SKT moving to the bottom, KT moving to the top, getting those wards in. Trying to get a sense of where the jungles will be, where everybody else will be too.
I'm curious what they want in this matchup right here. SK Telecom trying to be cute on this red buff, standing right in the Golem brush right now, allowing Mandu put down a ward there below the red buff, and this may be a pretty aggressive level 1 strategy here. Insect not buying it though. He's staying back on Shen until he can see what's going on. They know Faker's in the mid lane. And both teams, just look at this. They're both trying to effectively create a pick here very early on in the game, but both sides being very, very cautious.
They see both of them.
Uh-oh.
And Insect, there he is. Just to get caught a little bit, a lot of damage put onto him. And they're going to push him right out again and get this red buff.
But the same exact thing happening on the other side of the map. Cacao going for that red buff. Impact backing off the lane, going for the double golems instead, get himself some experience. He knows that lane's going to be frozen early on, so no chance for him to get gold or XP up there for quite some time. Score and Mafa, with all that zoning potential that Ezreal and Thresh have, you've got to be wary of those mystic shots. You've got to be wary of that death sentence.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there we go, Cacao with the double buffs. And Bengi's going to take his blue as well.
So mirror jungle so far, nothing too interesting. Cacao looking like he's going to go for a full clear. Insect heading back to lane now. Try and pick up something. Red buff getting pinged. Insect is actually going up to clear out the little lizards that were left. Get that buff up sooner so Cacao doesn't have to worry about it.
Right. Get a little bit of CS, get some levels. He knows he's going to he's going to have that level disadvantage unless he's able to try to hit 2 before he gets into lane. And see if he gets some mini golems as well.
So the big point here. Oh, wow, missing the cocoon.
Whoa, yeah. Close call for Faker, but he's okay.
Very close call. So the big point here is who's going to get this tower first. That's going to be super important. As well as the KT Bullets, they have to prevent Impact from getting a deep lane freeze by the second turret and free farming back there. Because they don't really have an assassin that's going to be able to stop him from doing that. So they need to make sure that their minion wave, as soon as they get this tower, shoves all the way down underneath the turret so the minions reverse back down the lane.
Yeah.
So they'll have to have a minute of overextending right here. Just a moment before they can get in. But Insec only level 1 right now. We can already see Impact level 3.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of trouble there. Piglet trying to put a lot more damage on the Insec. Kakao had to come down to help him out. Now, Kakao is level 4. There's level 2 finally for Insec. But I think Kakao's going to probably need to spend a little bit of time down there.
Yeah, he is. And that's problematic. And that's what that little trade at level 1 did.
Yeah. For
Piglet and Pumandu is by catching him, getting some damage down the jungle. Ryu gets jumped on.
Yeah, gets slowed. There we go. Has to flash. Bengi flashing as well. Ryu not quite dying there.
Uses all of his summoners, though, to escape that. He's going to have to play a lot more cautiously. And since Kakao was down in that bottom lane, they knew it was a perfectly safe gank. No chance of a reversal. And
very true.
SK Telecom, once again, playing a little bit better in the laning phase for the 3rd game in a row.
Yeah. And they really need that, too. There we go. Death Sentence comes in. Impact, though, has that Counter-Strike. There's a Flay again. Just more damage put on the Impact. He's been farming okay, but they're really trying to make him pay for it.
Well, they've been pushing this lane very hard. You'll notice every time they get a cannon wave, they immediately push it into the turret. They get that extra bit of tankiness so they can take a few more shots at that tower.
Yep.
And it's working out for them so far, that turret in bottom lane. Like to say, take a look at that and see how Piglet and Pumandu are doing.
Well, you're just going to need to wait.
I guess I will.
Be patient. All right. Well, here comes Bengi coming up. There's a Counter-Strike. They landed onto score. Bengi waiting for that opportunity. Trying to wait. There's the Arcane Shift. Didn't want to wait anymore. Mafa may be in a little bit of trouble. No, he's going to be okay. Cocoon on to Mondu, actually. Mondu close to being executed by Kakao, but instead, oh, there's a wrap-up. Oh, wow.
Nearly got the trap in there as well. That would have spelled certain doom.
Yeah.
But doesn't get it. However, that turret is still at full HP as we're speaking. They're chasing Kakao around, though. They're trying to get the kill. The plant's helping out a lot. Kakao has to be so careful.
Oh, the minions nearly finished him off. There's Repel. Peacemaker a little bit too early. There's a flash, but a flash from Piglet will help secure that first blood for SK Telecom.
Really nice play from Piglet and Mondu to pick that one. Just corralling Kakao down there, not giving him any chance to escape, and finishing off the first blood while getting the turret damage. That's a big win for SKT because they were in jeopardy of losing that top lane turret with doing no damage in return. And that's a very dangerous situation to be in against the Bullets because once they get an advantage like that, they can usually press it pretty darn hard.
Yeah, they are definitely one of the best teams out there at keeping leads,
yes.
You know? Sometimes it takes them a little while to get it in the game, but when they do, they seldom lose it.
Yeah. So Score and Mafa still pressing in that top lane. They did get shoved off a little bit thanks to Bengi and Impact's aggression in the top lane 2v2 situation. They will go ahead and recall. They know that there's no imminent pressure due to Piglet and Mondu's own recall right there. But Piglet able to pick up a very fast BF sword.
Yeah.
And that's just going to make that turret go down even faster as SK Telecom. This is a bit of a risky Baron for Dragon.
Really quick Dragon here from SK Telecom, and it looks like KT has caught wind of it. There's Repel, though. They're going to go on to Faker here. And actually, members coming up. There's a nice shockwave, locking them up. KT trapped, and Ryu not going anywhere either. Double kill for Faker.
Faker plays, things Faker does right there. And it's even more impressive. I mean, they baited that Dragon so well, and then the play calling that came after that to turn it around, and the two-man shockwave gave no chance. Ryu doesn't have combat stats yet. He went for that tier first.
Yeah, well.
He's in a dangerous position, and SK Telecom T1 will go ahead and take the Dragon anyway.
Man, I mean, KT is like this tank. It's like this juggernaut that just rolls along, and it's hard to stop it once it gets going. But SKT is like a smart missile or something, you know? It always hits exactly where it needs to. And generally, SKT, they get those edges by just outsmarting their opponents. Very cool to see.
Yeah, and just a great use of Shockwave right there. Now you can see the thought process from Kakao and Ryu, thinking they could go in, but neither of them has combat stats. Of course, we don't see very many from Faker as well, but at least he's got a little bit of magic resist.
And the first two turrets going down at nearly identical times.
That's not much solace for the KT Bullets here, finding themselves in a bit of a hole early.
Yeah, already 3,000 gold down. Faker gets caught by Kakao though. Fengi comes in to try to save him. Faker with the command protect, true shot barrage, does not hit anybody. And Kakao makes a hasty retreat.
Yeah, they couldn't pursue that. If they had gotten poked down a little bit by Ezreal, maybe would have opened them up to a Requiem right there.
And you always have to be worried about when Score is playing Ezreal. We saw some great true shot barrage snipes on objectives and people many times yesterday.
Yeah, and in the finals as well, that first game against SK Telecom, he had a massive game as Ezreal, carrying really quite hard.
Score definitely one of the best Ezreals out there in Korea. And so now everybody just backing off for now. SK Telecom feeling pretty confident going into this early mid game with that 3K gold lead.
So they got the tower, and you can see in the top lane now, they did prevent the freeze as well from Impact, so he is going to be a little bit more exposed. The minion wave pushing back towards KT Bullets tower right now, so controlling the wave in exactly the right way to prevent Impact from free farming.
Yeah.
Just those little things are actually quite important sometimes in League of Legends.
Oh yeah. Well, oftentimes at the highest level, the little things become more and more important than ever before, in fact.
Well, the pressure coming down. Piglet and Mondu aggressively rotating into the mid lane here, and there's the true shot barrage coming in just to try and force him to take some tower shots, but Ryu's got to be careful. He's not prepared for this.
Oh, no, he's not. There's Ace in the hole, gets blocked by Mafa, but the turret does go down. Nice shockwave. They catch Mafa. Zyra ultimate not able to follow it up, though. So unfortunately, that ultimate just not quite there. I thought they had him for sure. Little bit out of range. Oh, man.
Faker. The flash from Ryu as well.
Yeah.
And Faker out farming Ryu by just a little bit, but
2 kills
Ryu's been pretty delayed right now. He finally gets his catalyst, but in an ideal world, we'd see about a 13-minute Rod of Ages from Ryu, and I don't think he's going to get that this game, and that's going to delay his power spike even further.
Score gets caught. There's the roots. He tries to arcane shift away. Cataclysm. There's the flash and the barrier, and Score will make it out alive. They get those 2 very valuable summoners, though.
Look at this Faker just peeping over the wall right there, seeing if anybody's waiting for him, judging whether he can put pressure on that turret. Impact hopping onto Insect's head.
Yeah, meanwhile, the other game that's happening in the top lane, it's almost a separate game sometimes.
The problem now is that Impact did get more farm in lane. He has that Phage already, and so he's going to be able to outduel Insect, and now he's going to be able to get a lot of that farm while Insect's there, as well as preventing any kind of ports coming in. He's low, and Faker looks like he's wrapping around to make a play.
Yeah, he wants it. Shockwave is up. Insect knows he's backing off now. Karthus coming up. Ryu on the way. And we may have a 2v2. We'll see. Looks like they'll just be content to take down that turret for now. And will they get it? There's the taunt coming in. Shockwave protecting them a little bit. Impact low. There's the true shot barrage coming through a little bit late.
Well, they have to stop losing towers.
Yeah.
They're executing this Caitlyn Zyra lane significantly better than the KT Bullets did last game. This is what that should have looked like.
Ooh, Dissonance just barely not catching Ryu. They didn't get that slow that they wanted from Faker.
The big difference here between what we saw last game, though, is that SK Telecom, they're not as vulnerable in the late game as we saw the KT Bullets team composition, because they have Jax as opposed to Zac, right? So just going to be able to carry harder, going to be able to deal more damage. Ryu, wow. Playing pretty aggressively right there. Impact deciding not to go in. A little bit afraid of that Requiem, I think.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, they probably would have been able to kill Ryu, but in the process, I think he probably would have gotten a little bit too low.
And look at what they've done with this lead, too. With a 5K gold lead, SK Telecom invested heavily in wards. We see pink wards down across the board. They're already taking control of the jungle right there.
Yeah, really well.
Yes, they can create picks with their composition, but really they just need to know where people are rotating to so they know when they get free damage on turrets and they can continue to push lanes.
Well, you know, this is
really
what we
hard.
saw, you know, work really well against KT as well, is that for such an objective-based team, if you can keep them from getting to those objectives, they can't take them.
Oh, I don't know, Joe. SK Telecom they're very in control of this game so far. And
oh, yeah.
The KT Bullets made some mistakes early, but I think that level 1 damage got on the Insect, set him pretty far behind. That forced Kakao in there, and Bengi able to make more plays across the map, generally speaking.
Yeah, this is usually where you see that lead start to grow, too, because now the red team just has an opportunity to take everything in the jungle.
And here we go, rotating to shove this lane against Insect. Insect really hasn't done anything with his ultimate so far this game, hasn't really had a chance.
Yeah.
Impact always right there, ready to stop him from porting. And there haven't really been an opening either. Faker
invisible red buff.
Yeah, the invisible buff.
It's terrifying. So now, does he turn invisible if he gets it?
I wish. That'd be an interesting buff for this game.
A little bit. Invisible Orianna. That'd be a little bit terrifying, wouldn't it?
Okay, well, they are chasing him out right now. The KT Bullets don't have any wards on them. They don't have a terrible amount of ways to control the vision.
Yeah. That's looking really, really rough for KT at the moment.
It's going to be very, very difficult for them to win this game at this point.
Yeah. Wow. SKT, and if SKT is able to close this one out and win it convincingly, you really have to wonder about KT's mental state coming into it. Mafa tries to go in for the play. They don't get it. They do get Mandu. Mandu gets his ultimate off, though. KT, Kakao trying to back away. Bengi just walks through the wall of pain. Mafa did, or Mandu rather, did escape. Two-shot barrage misses.
But a lot of ults and summoners used right there for no kills, Doa.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Impact just heads right back. He's got that Sheen now. He's going to be able to deal quite a lot of damage to that mid turret. Yeah, and the siege potential coming off of Orianna, Caitlyn, and Zyra huge. There's no way the Bullets are going to be able to hold this. They're instead turning on Impact, trying to shut him down. But
nice sleep strikes to the ward, tries to get away. He has his ultimate pop, turning around on Kakao now. No flash, though. There's the exhaust Impact. I don't think he's escaping, no, but they should be able to trade. They got the turret for it, yeah. So the objective's still very much in SKT's favor. Nice 5K gold lead at 15 minutes, too.
Really, SK Telecom kind of sticking it to the KT Bullets, showing them how this fast push should be operating. And
yeah.
I don't know, Doa. I don't really think there's a lot the KT Bullets are going to be able to do to make a comeback here.
Well,
they delayed Ryu enough.
This game, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be really tough.
Yeah. And so a Dragon for SK Telecom. They should be able to take a two-shot barrage coming through a little bit early. So that's going to be an easy pickup. Easy pot of gold for SK Telecom.
Yeah, at least they knew where most of them were, though, so it was actually safe to go out and farm those lanes. So it's not all is not lost for using a two-shot barrage like that.
Oh, no.
They're able to farm up, finally score, gets that Trinity Force. And I know it's funny for me to say that. It's a 16-minute Trinity Force, but normally he can pick it up just a little bit sooner. And he's been able to do that the last couple of days due to the fact that he's gotten a lot more kills in the early game than he has tonight.
Yeah.
But Piglet, you'll see too, going for Bloodthirster straight into Static Shiv. This is the fast push Caitlyn build. You get a faster power spike by filling up a Bloodthirster than you do for waiting for that Infinity Edge. And then you can wave clear much better with the Static Shiv and make sure that you're always topped off for any kind of sieges that happen, because you've got that lifesteal sustain coming out of the Bloodthirster as well. So it's a build that when you're ahead and you've got that turret control, works great. It's a build that can be kind of disastrous if you're behind.
As we saw earlier today. All right, well, KT trying to do their best to keep the lanes pushed, but it's just a little bit too much right now. SK Telecom, they may come in. Ooh, Mandu, a little bit slowed, goes through that wall of pain. Insect right there as well. Close call. Bengi on the other side of the river right now. There's a split push coming in from Impact. No teleport, of course, so it could be a 4v5 if KT decides to fight it.
Well, they have to group right now, too, because, well, we are seeing Jen go down
Oh,
there.
they catch Mondu. Can they do anything with it? There's a play. They hit him with the box as well. Oh, I don't know. There's the Zyra ultimate. Ryu caught. There's the shockwave. Puts Ryu farther away, but it doesn't matter. Faker with the kill. Bengi wraps up a couple KT members with the Cataclysm. Requiem coming down, gets the kill onto Bengi. Mondu lives. And ace in the hole. Oh, dodged with the repel.
Really nice timing there on that repel.
Yeah.
In order to dodge that, but SK Telecom, you'll notice what they did there. Well,
Whoa.
Mondu gets a little feisty.
That's right, Baker low as well. He manages to help Piglet get a kill, and Piglet double kill for score, but Piglet cleans it up. Cacao comes in and gives a triple kill to Piglet. A little bit surprised to see Cacao come in the end there.
Yeah, for me as well, a questionable play by Cacao. There's no way he was going to be able to clean that up, especially since that Bloodthirster is on Piglet. He would be able to out-sustain in any event. And so handing Piglet a few more kills here, making him even more powerful, allowing him to take the blue buff, getting him probably that static shiv when he goes back.
I would imagine.
Just going to make the push even worse.
Yeah.
But I think the KT Bullets know that there's almost nothing they can do to stop this, and that they had to try and power up score a little bit. Maybe if hell froze over, they could have gotten that kill onto Piglet right there onto score. And
Well, that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, started to make a comeback, but
yeah, I mean, at this point, you know, what do you do? I mean, in a long series, sometimes it is better to just surrender early and then save your kind of mental stamina for the next game, but I feel like you got to play these out. I mean, this is a match for the World Championship seed. You need to do everything you can, but yeah, it's going to take a miracle for KT to come back in Game 3.
Well, nobody can really stop Impact split pushing right now either.
Yeah.
Insec has not a whole lot of farm, as you can see, barely above the junglers. And there's the cooldown reduction right there, looking at that 22%. I believe that's lifesteal. So it's going to be really difficult to stop Piglet from constantly being at full health and chipping you away at turrets. Impact still putting this pressure down as well. He's got the
Yep. Oh, they catch Mafa. A lot used there, but they get the kill. Ryu coming in, poking, but not a lot otherwise. And getting Moff out of the way is a big deal. Score, though, chasing down Bengi. There's a turret going down the bot lane. And what will we see here? Piglet, the rest coming in to the enemy jungle. Impact rotating up. They may be able to do a bit of a pincer maneuver here. Impact a bit trapped. Piglet on the outside. There's Ryu. Tries to flash away, but Impact chasing. Ace in the hole, not able to be used there. Mondu chasing down Insec. Cacao trying to get away as well. Score, the last man standing in that fight. A double kill for Impact.
And finally, SK Telecom using that edge they built up over the whole game to take it home.
Trying to close it out right here.
Probably the end of the game.
I would say so. Mafa, bit caught, gets Bengi though. There's the box. Don't think it's going to matter though. They trade 1 for 1. Nice little move by Mafa, but it's not going to save that inhibitor. It will buy time though.
They still have Requiem up, so it looks like they'll probably back off after this. No need to take that risk
idea.
because somebody ultimate still up. Score. Eats a few shots from Piglet as a parting gift, however.
Yep. Well,
and now the Baron entirely up for grabs for SK Telecom. They've already got the vision control over it. They know there aren't a lot of wards there. Mondu with the Oracles.
yeah, I mean, 12,000 gold lead as well for SK Telecom at the
And
moment.
look at Piglet. He picked up a second Vampiric Scepter, of course, one built into his Bloodthirster, just to get that 22% lifesteal so he can effectively duel anybody. There's not really a lot that can stop him, too. Just a couple of CC abilities that'll stop him from autoing. But Ryu!
Oh, Ryu gets caught by Faker! And Faker, another victim. Well, the Lantern is a little bit late there.
Just picking up some souls, though.
I guess so, yeah, might as well. Can't grab the soul of Karthus, though, I guess. All right, there's the Baron, and without Karthus, without that threat of Requiem, this is going to be a pretty easy one for SK Telecom, unopposed.
Yeah, solid. SK Telecom's done a very nice job. They had a little bit of trouble closing out the last game, but this one is much more precise. Insec on the run right now. He has to hold to save himself.
Trying to get away. They can't stop him. Yeah, he comes down to Cacao, but well, what can you do? It just gets worse and worse for KT at this point. man, Faker, this guy just never stops making plays.
And now with that Baron buff.
Oh, there's the surrender. Yeah, they saw it. And I completely agree with KT's decision. So far behind, and save the mental fortitude. They still have a chance. Save it for the next game. Love it. And SK Telecom, really convincing win in Game 3. Smiles all around there. And SK Telecom 1 game away from the World Championships.
And they've been playing very well tonight. The KT Bullets looking strong in Game 1, but they really haven't had an answer to SKTT1 since then.
Yeah.
And in fact, that Zyra-Caitlyn combo just doing a lot more work. And Cacao.
Wow.
That's not something you see from him very often.
Yeah. Cacao nearly with the unbreakable spirit.
He did get outplayed by Bengi in that last game.
Really badly, too. 0-4-2. Not a good game for KT, but a victory nonetheless for SKT. And will the KT Bullets be able to tie it up and force that Game 5? Anything is possible, but the looks on some of the members of the faces, or some of the faces of the members of KT, not looking good. 4 days casting in a row, my voice is starting to, my lips are not working like they should. Cacao's heads up now. He's got to keep that chin up as well.
Yeah, one of the few times we've seen him without a smile on his face, but smiles on SK Telecom.
That's right.
That's for damn sure.
That's right. Well, guys, do not go anywhere. Tell everybody you know this next game is going to be incredible. Ryu, he's gone from like neutral to slightly sad. Slightly less apathetic.
A little frustrated right there, but Faker's okay.
That's right. Indeed.
How's your mouth, Faker?
Well, I don't know. All right, there we go. Well, don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back with game number 4 very, very soon here on OGN. A crucial game. It could be the last stand for the KT Bullets, and it could be the opportunity that SKT has looked for all year. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.